Actually, that this event is happening in Bulgaria, that this big chess forum is hosted here in Sofia, and I'm very glad to have the chance to tell you just a few words about our work. And I will try to be very brief so that I don't take you from your lunch and so that you can prepare for the important games afterwards. My name is Sandra and I'm working in the Sofia Bread House. What is a bread house? This is just a cozy, open space where everyone can come and make bread. What we do is really very simple. We are organizing bread making events. So imagine just how people are gathering together and they are making something very simple as bread. And our goal is just to foster their communication, to bring people that wouldn't meet in another situation together. And we are working with very different groups. For example, right now we are working a lot with refugees, we are working with minorities, with children and with adults. We are working also with people with mental and physical disabilities and with all kinds of people who would like to join this kind of events and to mix with other kinds of people. And we are happy to say that our methods are spread all over the world. And in Bulgaria, we have 9 bread houses. And we are here today because one of our methods is bread in the dark. And Ivan, who is one of our main volunteers, will tell you more about it. But as Ivan Yanev said just a minute ago, we have other volunteers too in the bread in the dark method. And these are Katie and Aglika that you already know. So I'm giving the floor to Ivan.
Thank you for this opportunity. Well, what is Bread in the Dark actually? As the very name suggests, it's an event that happens in complete darkness or so. It has something to do with dialogue in the dark and dinner in the dark, but it is very different in a way because, for instance, we have at Bread in the Dark, we have chocolate tasting at the end, which is something very nice and people really enjoy it. So that is something similar to Dinner in the Dark, but it is also very different. Why? In what way it is different? It is different because with Dinner in the Dark, you choose your food. For instance, you go there and you say, I'm vegetarian, and you know that you will be served something vegetarian to eat. But in Bread in the Dark, you don't know actually that you have a chocolate tasting because we keep it as a surprise for the end. And also you don't know what types of chocolate you're going to taste, so it's a teaser, it's something you need to guess using your other senses. Also, I mentioned dialogue in the dark. It is in a way similar because we discuss different topics. But with dialogue in the dark, usually the topic is chosen in advance, so you know what you're going to talk about, and you go there because this topic is of some interest to you or people you know. But with Bread in the Dark, the group itself chooses the topic, so the topic is different anytime we join together and work together. And how does it happen, this bread making in the dark? Well, usually sighted people sign for the event and they come and they pick a number. Usually Sandra is meeting them and is giving a bowl with numbers, and for instance I would ask Catherine to assist me in this. Let's imagine that Catherine is a sighted person who would like to take part in the Bread in the Dark. So she comes, Sandra is meeting her and she's giving her a bowl. Katie is taking a number. So for instance, Katie has the number 7. And then they come, all the sighted people come to the darkened space. And Sandra is asking, okay, who is number 7? And there's a blind or partially sighted participant who is number 7. And then Sandra will take, for instance, I'm number 7. So Sandra will take Catherine to me, and we'll start working as a pair.
Yeah.
And this is how the event begins. We have different groups. For instance, we can have groups between 8 and 16 people working together. And half of them are sighted and the other half are partially sighted or blind. And usually the team consists of 2 people working together, a sighted one and a visually impaired one who serves as the facilitator. So, for instance, Catherine is a sighted person who is coming to the bread making process for the first time, and I'm a visually impaired facilitator who's done this a lot of times. So it is my duty, my responsibility to introduce her to the method, to the atmosphere, and to make her feel comfortable so she could participate fully and enjoy the event really. So what I would do is tell her, okay, Catherine, here in front of you there's a large table and there's also a bowl with flour, there's a bottle with water. You can feel around your way and we can start talking about different things. So I would present myself really shortly. Like I would say, hi, I'm Ivan, I do this and that, so that she would know who is standing next to her, and she would relax a bit and she would feel more comfortable. And then when we form the pairs, because we work in pairs, and we can have 4 to 8 or 5 pairs, and then we start working as a group of 16 or 18 people. And usually there's a person who is leading the event. So we would choose the topic between the pairs, share them with the rest of the group, and then we will gather together around one big topic that is central to all of us, and we can start our bread making process following this topic. And then we use all the ingredients of the bread making as symbols, as metaphors, and we use them to discuss, to share our things that we feel important to this topic. And this way we use the bread making process as a means, as a media to communicate, to meet with the rest, to share information, to share our knowledge, our skills, and to actually become better people in the end.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, at the end, we shape the bread in different shapes according to the topic. We have the so-called theater or storytelling with the bread. And then at the end, usually as a surprise, we have the chocolate tasting, which, as I said, people really enjoy. And then we put on the light again. We remove the mask. We usually use masks like this one here. And at the end, we can have conversations and talk about other different things away from this topic that was central to our conversation. And that's mainly our method in really short.
Yes, and if you want to find out more, we can give you some brochures,
Yes.
or you can just visit our webpage,
So
which is Bread in the Dark BG.
Yes, we have leaflets and brochures. We can give them away to you. If you're interested, you can just raise a hand, or we can leave some here with Ivan Yanev, and you can take them later.
Yes. Thank you very much for your attention.
Enjoy your lunch.
And good luck for the game. Yes.